Well, hey YouTube, it's Petey Two Finger, and the other day I found a recording of the guys I used to work with, and I'm gonna play that. I'm gonna play part of that recording for you, and I want you to. I oftentimes on this channel I'll be talking about my past, and I go on and on about how I wasn't happy and I made the decision to cut these guys loose and move on. And part of the reason for that was that I wasn't happy with any of it, anything. I think it was really bad. None of it was good. And anytime I offered any, initially I had a say, and I did a lot of work. I did a lot of stuff that wasn't my job to do. And eventually more and more the other people developed an attitude and were so I just kind of had to bite my lip and let the chips fall where they may. I've talked about this this situation where I was driven to a point where I couldn't take it anymore, and I said, F this, I'm out, and I'm never playing in another band again, period. I found this session. This session was recorded at, that band had a studio, and it was really expensive, a lot of pro gear. And we're going to compare it to what I recorded. We're going to compare it to one of my mixes from January. Now, my mix is done with a used $30 interface and a pair of $20 preamps that I got used. Their mix is going through a $3,000 board, some real expensive equipment, real expensive microphones, real expensive board, real expensive everything. It's a studio. So what I would like you to pay attention to is the actual mix, the quality of the audio. Like, can you hear the drums? Can you hear the cymbals? Can you hear the guitar? Can you hear the bass? The definition, the clarity, and we're going to piece that up against one of my mixes from this year. And the reason I'm doing this is because I always bring this up about how for years I was not happy. I was in this bad place, and I want to give a proof in the pudding, like, hey, I'm not making it up. You know what I mean? I wish I was. To think that X amount of time went into recording these demos that these guys worked on. They spent so much time on it. And that this is what they ended up with. I'd want my money back. Anyway, shall we listen? postscript, if you're in a situation like this musically, you got to get out. Doesn't mean you have to go solo or anything, but life is short. Don't tread water. You need to be happy. You only get one shot. So musically, and I realize not everybody is on the path I'm on. Most people are on the path that these other guys were on. They're not interested in writing a lick of original music. They're interested in getting pussy. That's the whole thing, is to get laid. It's cover songs. It's to get the girls to dance so they can, hook up with some hottie who's probably in a relationship, cheating on her old man. This type of venereal disease type of thing. Anyway, shall we give it a listen? Again, we're going for clarity. We're going to. Can you hear the music, and also the levels? I've got to say, I'm going to play these at the same level, and there's going to be a serious jump in level. One of these tracks is a lot louder than the other. So maybe I'll put a little warning in there. Anyway, this is my my old band, the guy who was their electronics genius, the guy who I was no longer able to open my mouth or say a word about anything because I had been so beaten down by everybody and told that's not the bass player's job. And the only reason I was concerning myself was because somebody needed to do something. It was embarrassingly bad what was going on with this band. So it was a drummer, the rhythm guitar player, bass player, lead guitar player, lead vocalist, 2 background singers, and a roadie. So there's basically 8 people counting the roadie. And we played plenty of parties and plenty of bars, plenty of shows. And after I left, they went on to get a guitar player who was a lot more serious, didn't have a cocaine problem, and they were playing in bars. They were doing it. They played with my singer for a while, and then they got rid of him and got a guy that sings like I'm the Alice in Chains, Pearl Jam, I sing like and he had a big chain wallet. And they had some success. They were playing, and all of the bars loved them. I went out, and it was, for some reason, their band had a following of overweight girls. I went to this bowling alley, and it was like nothing I'd ever seen. There was hundreds of perma-beasts, like very large women with giant hair, permed out, all in their spandex, just like throngs of them. And I was like, to my the guitar player, I said, my old partner, what's with the obese people? And he said, oh yeah, this band has a following. They think the singer is cute, and they're all friends with the guitar player too. So anyway, yeah, that was just it was weird. It was weird, and I don't really want to comment too much more on that. This video is more about providing some proof about when I bring up my past and I go, oh man, it was bad. It was really bad. So should we give it a listen? I got to warn you, we're going to play their track first, and we're going to play one of my tracks. There's going to be a significant volume boost. But this first track is many, many, many thousands of dollars worth of equipment inside a huge basement of a mansion that had been set up and built specifically, all soundproofed and isolated with a professional isolation booth, vocal ISO booth. They had a control room, just unbelievable amount of money went into it. And all super expensive. He had stuff where he would, his RAM was virtual hard drive, so he would blast the tracks from the sessions from hard drives into this RAM cache software, where it would trick the computer into thinking that the RAM was a hard drive. In that way, it would really quickly be able to flow the data from all this multi-track audio and get really I don't know. It seemed to me that working with this guy, the more he could complicate it and turn it into where you weren't recording, but you would give up and say, we can't do anything today. Let's just get wasted and drink and smoke weed. That was his main goal, was to get you to throw the towel in. He would often take his mouse and throw it at the monitor and God damn it, and then he would just swear, and then he would light his shit up, smoking his shit, and then he would just sit there, and that was the cue that you weren't doing anything that night. It was going to be another 6 months to finish the demo, and that's literally how this went. That's literally how it went. It was never ending. Nothing ever worked, and we're going to hear a track. I was over there and I begged him to let me burn a session. I burned the whole session to a disc and took it with me. And I did not touch the mix. This is exactly how it was mixed. So let's listen. And again, I would like you to pay attention to the clarity of the instruments. Can you hear the bass? Is there any high end? Can you hear clean and crisp? Do the guitars sound good? And same rules for my recording. Okay, let's check it out, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. This is so much fun for me. I can't tell you how much fun this is. You know, kind of a who ended up getting the last laugh. You know. Yeah, I'm just the bass player. Anyway, Petey Two Finger, peace out.